everyone. My name is Miss Rosa, and I'm with Boys and Girls Clubs of South Alabama. Welcome to the 2023 Gulf Coast Children's Book Festival, and we are so happy that you're here with us today. We've got a lot of things to go over, so we're just going to jump right in here. What I'd like to do first is to let you do a little bookkeeping details here. If you are logged into YouTube or Facebook, I need you to comment right now with your school name and your teacher name so that we know that you're on the broadcast. If you are not logging into YouTube or Facebook, what I'd like you to do is send me an email right now to festival@bgcsouthl.org with your school name and your teacher name so that we know you attended the book festival. We want everyone to get their books and bags and all the gifts. So with that, I'd like to tell you at some point during the broadcast, you are going to see a picture that shows this. And when it shows a bonus, we are going to have a giveaway. And you will have to do a hashtag. You will send in a comment. That's the reminder for the festival, but you need to send in a comment and include the hashtag in your comment. Okay. So check in right now with your comments or your email. And then when we're doing the giveaways, make sure you include the hashtag for the correct giveaway. So what we'd like to get started with is I asked the teachers to send me some of their favorites, what book the class likes to read and what some of the students' favorites are. So what I'd like to do is to show you your favorites.
Hello, my name is Miss Robertson, and these are my amazing kindergarten students here at Collins Road Elementary. Today, we would like to share with you that one of their favorite books that they like for me to read to them is I Color Myself Different. What's the name of that story, boys and girls?
I color myself different.
Good job. Do we know who the author is? Very good. My girls like this particular story because very good. And the boys like the story because Colin Kaepernick was a football player. This particular story is really interesting because it teaches our children that it is okay to be different. Even if you have parents that look different from you or parents who may not be the traditional parent. It could be an aunt, an uncle, your grandma, your grandfather, okay? Anybody who cares for you can be your parent. So, I Color Myself Different by Colin Kaepernick is the story that my students like for me to read to them. Good job, guys.
What is a story we can absolutely not live without? I would say it is this one, which is Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters, which is an African tale. This is a story that's similar to Cinderella, but it talks about basically finding beauty in everything. And the one sister was just not very nice, and then the other sister found beauty in everything and gave thanks to everything and was helpful, and ended up marrying the prince who was looking for a queen, the most beautiful queen. And for him it was finding beauty not just on the outside but also on the inside. So this is one of those stories that I absolutely love to read to my class all the time because it teaches them to love yourself, love everything around you, and you will have good things in life. So this is just one of those stories that I think is an amazing story to read.
We'd like to thank Miss Samaria Moore from Spencer West Lawn and Lashundra Robinson from Collins Roads. They were the ones that sent in the videos for their favorites. And to thank them, we would like to award them each a $50 gift certificate to Scholastic to buy books for their class. We have one little announcement. We are having a little bit of an issue with our YouTube comments. The Facebook comments are coming through. So, teachers, if you could jump onto Facebook instead of YouTube, we're trying to get it fixed. But if you could jump onto Facebook instead of YouTube, we'll try it that way. Now, at this time, we are so fortunate to have a wonderful author join us all the way from California, Miss Sonia Connor, and she is the author of Susie's Adventures and Andy's ABC Adventure series. And we would like you to welcome Miss Sonia Connor. Hi there, Miss Connor. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. I'm so happy to be here, and I heard some of the excitement earlier from the children, so I definitely feel it, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, real quick, while we have you on there, we would like to pop in some of the classes. We invited a few of the classes to join us in order for them to ask you some questions. So one at a time, I'm going to pull up the classes and let them say hello to you, Miss Connor. Okay. This is Miss Booth's class from Dodge Elementary School. Hi, Miss Booth's class.
Hello.
We'll be right back to you. This is Miss Gatlin's class from Fondy. Hi, Miss Gatlin's class.
Hi.
And then we have the kindergarten classes from Hollinger's Island. Miss Allen organized this. So these are the kindergartners from Hollinger's Island. So they are going to be able to ask you some questions in just a few minutes, Miss Connor. But awesome. I'm going to turn everything over to you and let you tell us a little bit about your series, specifically the Susie books. But you have two series, the Andy's ABC Adventures also.
Yes. So just to give a little background on myself, I've always enjoyed reading from a young child. My mom always said, the more you read, the more you learn. So she instilled that love for reading with me. And then, of course, when I had my son when he was little, I had an in-home daycare and read every day with the children and enjoyed reading, especially rhyming books. So about 10 years ago, I decided I do want to continue on with my reading and started writing my books. And the first books that I wrote was my Andy's Adventure series, like you mentioned. Andy's ABC Adventures, Andy Goes to School, where it takes the little boy from his first day of kindergarten all the way through the school year, the different things that he learns along the way. Now, this one has been called the 3-in-1 book because for beginner readers, you can see how it has the large letters, and then it also has a poem and then a story on each page. So this is a book that grows with the child from the time that they're starting to learn to read. And again, it takes him all the way through his school year. So that was my first set of books. And then my next set of books that I continued on with was the Susie's Adventure series. And I'll be reading the first one to you in just a moment, which is Susie's New Glasses. So I'll be reading this one. And then I have some other books in the Susie's series. Where is Susie's Tooth? About her losing her tooth. And then this one just launched about a month ago, Mixed Little Susie, about Susie being a mixed race girl. So those are some, just some little background information on the books. Now, to give you a little bit more on Susie's New Glasses, which is what I'll be reading to you. And for you children there, I just want you to think about different things that you experience in life and that you may have questions about, and how, it's something that you can put in a book form. So in my case, this came from my son when he was young and he was in first grade. And the teacher noticed that he was having some trouble, with what the teacher was writing on the board. So he actually moved him up to the front of the classroom and it didn't help a whole lot. So we discussed it, and then I took him to the eye doctor, and he was diagnosed with being color deficient. So not, completely colorblind, but color deficient, where he just sees some shades of some colors. So just an awareness of things there was what led me to write this Susie's New Glasses book, to bring awareness to different issues that children may face. So, Rosa, are we ready to get started with me reading the book now?
I would love for you to read the book very quickly to us. Thank you so much, Ms. Connor. I am going to put you back on full screen. And are you ready for me to do the other screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so let me make it a little bit bigger for myself here. All right. So the book is called Susie's New Glasses. Susie tries to follow along in class, but it's hard for this little lass. She tries her best to clearly see, then squints her eyes and looks sulky. So she's got a look on her face there. She looks at the animals on the walls. Some of them look like little fuzzy balls. The other kids laugh and think it funny when Susie says that a fish is a bee. So they're laughing because they can see it, but Susie can't. She writes large letters on a page, but the edge of it she cannot gauge. She tries to shrink them down to fit, then is not sure what she has writ. Match the similar words is the task. This seems like such an easy ask, but Susie does not do well at all. Her grade in school begins to fall. She gets in the wrong bus line at school. The driver checks, that is the rule. She finds the kids in her regular line and gets on the right bus just in time. Mom sees Susie's sad face at home and asks her, "What is going on?" Susie relates all she went through. Mom tells Susie, "I can help you." The next day, they go to an eye doctor. The optometrist is where Mom takes her. She covers each eye to read letters on the wall, to read the lines from the largest to the small. The doctor looks at her eyes some more. She looks up, then down to the floor. She looks through different lenses to see until all the words appear clearly. "Pick a color," the doctor nods his head. "I like all colors, but my favorite is red." Mom says, "Let's look at some styles for the new glasses for your eyes." Susie walks on the bus looking cool. She's wearing her new glasses to school. Everything now looks so very clear, things that are far and things that are near. Susie laughs at the fish on the wall. It wasn't a bee like she thought after all. The other kids laugh with her as well. They are all learning how to spell. The letters she writes now fit the page size, written correctly the first time she tries. Big words, little words, they all now fit. Between the lines, they all now sit. Susie matches the words easily, words that she could now clearly see. She skips along with her report in hand. With a wide smile, she feels so glam. "No more getting in the wrong bus line," Susie says. "I know which is mine." She waves at her friends at the end of the day, even those friends that were far away. Susie is happy with her new red glasses. She now enjoys all of her classes. The future looks bright for Susie now. A smile has replaced that squinty brow. And that is the end of the book.
That is awesome, Miss Connor. Let me get this off. Your book is so awesome. And I have a special surprise for the teachers on the class. We are going to be giving away two class sets of your books to two different classrooms. So every child in the classroom will get one of your Susie's New Glasses. So, what I'd like them to do very quickly while we finish talking to you is I'd like them to enter their in the comments. We now have YouTube working, by the way. Enter your school and teacher name with the keyword hashtag Susie, and we're going to be drawing for those in just a few minutes. I'm going to go to one of the classrooms because I just know they have some questions for you. So how about Miss Booth's class? We start with her class. Miss Booth, there's your class. How are you, Miss Booth? Hi, Miss Booth. Do you have a question for Miss Connor for us this afternoon?
Xavier, why did you want to become an author?
Could you speak up just a little louder?
Why did you want to become an author? Why did you want to become an author?
Why did you want to become an author, Miss Connor?
Oh, I love reading books with children. I had my daycare and I read books every day and I enjoyed it. And one of the greatest pleasures for me was a mom came and told me that her child can read, and she wasn't even aware that her child could read. So it's just a true joy for me to be able to read, and especially writing and rhyming. It's just a joy. So that's my reason.
I'd also like to open it up. We can get you to some of the classes that are watching on YouTube and Facebook. If you will send us a question through the comments, I will try to pick up a couple as soon as we get through with the classes and ask Miss Connor for those too. But at this point, I'd like to go to Miss Gatlin's kindergarten class. Hi there, Miss Gatlin. Hi. Does someone from your class have a question for us, for Miss Connor today?
Ryder has a question he's going to ask. Go ahead.
Okay.
Is writing easy for you?
Could you repeat that for me, Miss Gatlin?
Is writing easy for you?
It comes easy for me. I enjoy writing in rhyme, and I think in rhyme. So, and then I think, well, what goes with what, and I write it down. So I encourage any of you that are thinking of writing to write things down. Put it down. You can come back to it later. Any thoughts that you have, but I enjoy it, and it's easy for me. I wish I had more time to write, but I do enjoy it, and it is easy for me. But it starts with reading. You have to read a lot, read other people's work, read books as much as you can, so that you have other ideas too. So reading helps with writing.
Okay, we now have the kindergarten classes from Hollinger's Island School, and this was Miss Allen's class, and I think we have somebody else's class in there too, correct?
Yes, Miss Crawford. Miss Crawford.
Okay, do you, Miss Allen, do your class have a question for Miss Connor?
Yes, Daniel. Stand up, Daniel. All right, go ahead.
Do you ever wear glasses?
Yes, I do wear glasses sometimes. I currently have my contacts in, but yes, I do wear glasses. I have them somewhere here at my desk. I have my pair of glasses. So yes, so here's a pair of glasses.
I am right there with you, Miss Connor.
Yes,
I
yes.
I didn't have to wear glasses as a child, but as an adult, I got older, so there you go. Now I love those. Those are wonderful.
Okay.
Let's see. We have some questions in the comments, so I'm going to pull one of those up. This is from Miss Crawford's class. Why did she pick the name Susie? How did you pick the name Susie, Miss Connor?
It's a name I've always enjoyed. I like the name Susie. Nobody specifically that I know named Susie, but I like names that start with S, obviously, because my name starts with S. So Susie was just one of those. And also I try to go with something that's kind of timeless. So there's Susie in all different generations right now. So, and hopefully the name Susie will be used for many, many years in the future.
Okay, we have from Miss Lizenba's class, how many books have you written in all?
So I have the 5 here that are published, and I have 3 more in the works. So I have 3 more coming this year. I have Susie the Baker coming. I have Susie's visit to the apple farm, so a school trip visit, and then I have Susie's big move coming. So I have 5 written and published, and 3 more in the works. And then next year I will start my Charlie's Adventure series that will follow up with Charlie and different things that he does. If you recall from my first book, Charlie was Andy's best friend. So branching out that character a little bit.
Okay, from Miss Arnold's class, we have, why do you like reading so much? Ooh, that's a good question.
I love to read because that's how you learn about things, and you find out that you get ideas that way. So, like I mentioned, read other people's works, not just your own. One of my favorite books to read with the children when I had my daycare was Miss Nelson is Missing. And I enjoyed reading that because it made you think. But reading helps you to think about different things, make connections to things, find out that the world is not just, not just you and your family, but there's a whole wide world out there and your place in the world. So you learn that you can have friends, you can make a difference. And as you grow older, that becomes, more and more important to learn about people and appreciate everyone, regardless of who they are, or, what they look like or their background. It helps you to appreciate people.
That is awesome. We have, now this is one is going to put you on the spot. From Miss Jackson's class, which of your books is your favorite?
I would say Susie's New Glasses is my favorite at this time, but I with each of them, they hold a special place to me, and I enjoy reading them. When I was writing Susie's New Where is Susie's Tooth, I just cracked myself up. I laughed so much because just a funny concept of her tooth popping out as she was eating lunch at school, just all those different things about her tooth was funny to me. So at this time, I'd say Susie's New Glasses is my favorite, but I'm having an enjoyable time, and this, you guys are going to get a sneak peek now of what's coming. If you can see that on Susie the Baker. So I do all my own sketches, and then I hand them off to my illustrationist, and then they make it pop. They make it professional. But I'm having so much fun drawing Susie the Baker. She can't cook, she can't bake, and she makes a mess in the kitchen. So I just laugh at all the funny things that she's doing as she tries to cook, to create something for the school event, which is what that's going to be. So that will probably be my next favorite book, to answer your question on the favorite.
That is awesome. What I'd like to do is the classes that we have on there, I'd like to come back to each class and see if they have another question for you. So I'm going to go back to Miss Booth's class. Miss Booth's class, does anyone in your class have a different question that we haven't heard?
London, you have a question? No. Jackson?
Why do you like to read?
Why do you like to read?
Why do I like to read? I enjoy reading so I can learn about different places and peoples and things. I'm very curious, and we all should be, because that's what helps us to learn how to live and learn how to get along with others. So it's very important that we read, and we should try to read each day.
Miss Gatlin's class, does someone in your class have another question for us?
Yes, ma'am. Cameron has a question. Go ahead, Cameron.
How long does it that be?
How long does it take you to write a book?
Ooh.
Okay, well, how long did it take me to write Susie's New Glasses? I'm trying to think of Super Bowl. How is Super Bowl about 3 hours long? You know how they have the Super Bowl game on every year. So Susie's New Glasses was written during Super Bowl in 2022. So I sat down on the couch next to my husband and son, and the game came on. I got my pen and paper out and started writing Susie's New Glasses. And by the time Super Bowl Sunday was done, the game was over, I read it to them because it was done. And that's how long it took to write that. So about 3 hours. I had the idea, of course, in my head been beating it around in my head, but it only took me 3 hours to write. And then, of course, you go back and do your editing, maybe change up a word or two and get feedback. I got feedback from them right away after the game. Of course, they wanted to get busy eating. And I was like, no, you can listen to my book that I just wrote. So it comes very quickly. Once you have an idea, you start putting it down, and then you go back and do your editing.
I'm adding the kindergartners from the Hollanders Island. Okay, kindergartners and Miss Allen's class.
Connie has a question. Stand up, Connie.
What favorite grade is yours?
What was your favorite grade in school?
My favorite grade in school?
What's your favorite subject in school?
Probably my favorite was biology. Just like learning how things connect. So I would say probably biology was one of my favorite classes. I was a student that loved school, and I still love learning. So I just love learning about everything. But I would say biology. I always brought home books from the library on animals. So that was one of the things that I enjoyed, of course, with reading. My mom would make us carry our own books home from the library, and you can check out as many books as you can carry. And I was always loaded down with books, and we had them checked out for 2 weeks from the library. So mainly about animals, I would say.
We are going to very quickly, we are going to do a drawing for one of your sets of books. So we are going to, here's the random drawing from your comments, and the winner for a class set of books is going to be Miss Tiffany Jackson. Miss Jackson's class, Collins Rhodes. So Miss Jackson's winner a class set of books. What we are going to do now is, there's Miss, there we are. I thought I lost you there for a minute, Miss Connor. I actually have a question for you. I know that you started writing these books how long ago?
I started with the Andy's ABC series about 10 years ago. And then that's where I met you shortly after that, when you came out to California to the Orange County Children's Book Festival.
Right. It is. That's the first time I met you. And for those of you who don't know, in 2019, when we had our book festival here, Miss Connor came all the way from California and joined us for the book festival. And we certainly hope we can get her again in the future. But the other question I'd like to ask you is how long ago, what made you decide to want to write a children's book?
Well, it was something that I enjoyed doing, was the writing part, obviously. But I enjoy sharing my books with children. I enjoyed reading to the children when I had my daycare. So it was kind of like the next step, the next level was to write books that I could share, my own books that I could share, and especially not seeing all of the books that, the full representation of books. So like, this my recent one on mixed little Susie, definitely myself being a mixed race person, we don't have a whole lot of books that we can identify with, and especially, that a young girl might be able to see herself in. And so this one really, takes her through that process of, being a mixed race girl. So the representation, again, that is not always there in children's books. So I saw a gap, and I decided, combine the two things, my love for writing and writing about things that maybe we don't have enough books about.
I guess I had another question for you, but you know what? We've got our kids on here, and I'd rather the questions come from the kids. So I'm going to hit the 3 classrooms one more time. Miss Booth's class, do you have one last question for Miss Connor?
How do you write so good?
Could you repeat that for us, Miss Booth?
How did you learn to write so good without many mistakes?
How did you learn to write so well without making mistakes?
Well, we all make mistakes. So, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. So, like I mentioned, that first draft that I wrote during Super Bowl Sunday, well, my husband and son gave me feedback. So then you go back and then you correct your mistakes. You go back and you edit, maybe look it up in a dictionary, see what word might fit better to give the same meaning of what your intention was. So the thing is, don't be afraid to write and make those mistakes, because then you can always come back and learn from them and improve for the future.
Miss Gatlin's class, we are going to pull you in. Do you have a one last question for Miss Connor?
Yeah, Grayston is going to ask.
How do you start a book?
Was that how do you start a book?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you start a book, Miss Connor?
Okay, well, it starts with an idea. So I think of a concept or a situation, and then you have to think of, okay, so here's an idea, here's a concept, here's something that you want to show or share, and then doing some research. So, for instance, my book that's coming out about Susie's field trip to the apple farm. So I had to do some research, right? So I had to look up about field trip, about the process of what goes on at an apple farm, workers picking the apples and how the apples get processed and those types of things. So doing research, looking into things, and then I start getting it in my head, jotting down ideas and the flow that I want to, and what story I want to tell, and then how I want it to end up. And I always like mine ending up, of course, on a positive note.
Okay, kindergartners from Hollinger's Island, I want to come to you and get possibly one last question from your class. Okay, what's your question?
What's your favorite color, she asked.
What's your favorite color, Miss Connor?
My favorite color?
Yes.
My favorite color is actually purple, but it's also purple, red, and pink. So you can see all of my favorite color here, purple, red, and pink. So a combination of those three. In fact, Ms. Rosa, I was going to ask for some help in coming up with the color for the cover of my next book, which is Susie the Baker. So do you have any recommendations of how the children may help me figure out? Because we have some different colors already for the Susie books, right? So I need to have a color for Susie the Baker. So when you think of baking, what color comes to your head? So I need some help with that.
Well, let's see. There's 2 ways we can do this. The teachers that are watching the live broadcast, if you could possibly send a comment in really quickly, and on what color you think that Susie the baker is going to be. And let's see, Miss Gatlin's class. I'll bet Miss Gatlin's class can come up with a color for the cover of this new book. Miss Gatlin's class, what color do you think? You think so? You think it needs to be pink? Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to pull up a comment because we've already got one. We've got two. Wow, we've got lots of pinks. Miss Daffin's class, they think it ought to be pink. Let's see. We've got boy, they're just flooding in. From Miss Taylor's class. Nope, that's Miss Taylor's class. They think it ought to be yellow. Okay. Here we go. Now this one is showing some thought. Miss Arnold's class says the color of cake coming out the oven, so it needs to be brown. That is doing deductive reasoning there. We have a lot of yellows. We have more pinks. Well, here's a different one. Miss Moore's class from Spencer Westlawn, they think it ought to be green. Green. Okay. So I'm thinking we're getting more pinks, but if I had to vote, Miss Arnold's class showed a lot of thinking to decide about the color of the cake coming out of the oven with it maybe being brown. So okay. That would probably be my pick simply because of that, but I think any of them would just be marvelous for it. Okay. But at this time, Miss Connor, I hate to go, but we have just enjoyed you so much. What I'd like to do, I'm going to bring in the 3 classes, and I would like you to wave and give Miss Connor a hand, please. Thank you again, Miss Connor. We loved it, and we will make sure the classes get the class sets of books, and we are just so appreciative that you could join us today.
Thank you so much for having me, and read. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed Miss Connor. She is so nice and is such a wonderful author. I know that you are interested in some of the things that we are going to do, but first, I would like to show you the second part of the pictures you sent in. You had a scavenger hunt going around your school, getting pictures of different people in your school holding books. And the reason we did that is because you have no idea how the other people in the school support you, even though you don't know they do. But they can be so supportive of your classwork and of your reading. So we'd like to show you those people. I would like to, and I just saw them pop in. I want to pull up a class from Fondy Elementary. I'm sorry, it either had your video or your audio turned off and we couldn't get you. So here is Fondy Elementary School. I think your microphone is muted. There we go. It is unmuted now. Whose class do I have from Fondy in this group?
Miss Martha!
I gotcha. Okay. Since it locked you out, I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to give everyone in this class an extra book because it locked you out earlier and you didn't get to ask questions. So, how about that? Are you good with that? Are you good with me just be giving you an extra book since it locked you out? Would you spell your last name for me, please?
It is M-A-R-K-H-A-M.
Miss Markham. Okay, Miss Markham. Well, I promise you I will make it right since the program kind of locked you out and you didn't get to talk to Miss Connor. I will make it right for your class. So thank you for joining us. And at this time, what I'd like to do is we have some copies of one of my favorite books, which is If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So at this time, what I'd like the teachers to do is I want you to send in a comment with your school and teacher name and use the keyword #mouse, because the class that we draw from this entry, not only is everyone in the class going to get a copy of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, I think we're going to try to talk the mouse into delivering them to your class personally. So whoever wins this one will get a visit from the mouse to bring you your books. So if you would send in a comment with the keyword mouse, and we will draw for that in just a minute. Now, I've got a very special story for you right now. When I first saw this story, I just loved it. And one of the people I work with did such a wonderful job reading it, and I wanted to bring it to you.
This is called The Wonky Donkey, and it's by Craig Smith. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! And he only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. Yee-haw! He was a honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. Whew, and he smelt really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee, and he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was very tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. That morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw!
Thank you, Miss Lakeman from our office for reading The Wonky Donkey and just doing an awesome job. Oh, you know what? I see something, and it is time for a bonus question. All right, teachers, get your fingers ready, because the very first comment that comes in with the correct answer, this teacher will win a 10-pack of books to go in your classroom library. So teachers, here is the bonus question. Get the answers from your children. What kind of animal is corduroy? What kind of an animal is corduroy? All right, let's see who got the answer first. And it was, oh, they're coming in so fast. Miss Crawford, Miss Crawford's class got the answer first. Miss Crawford, Brittany Crawford's class, he was a bear, specifically a teddy bear, but the answer was the animal, so it was a bear. Miss Crawford, you will get a 10-pack of books for your classroom. Okay, now, I promised you that we would do a drawing for a set of a copy of the If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, delivered by the mouse. So here we go. We are going to draw, and the winner will be the winner is going to be Miss Daffin. Miss Daffin, your class, everyone in your class will get a copy of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, personally delivered by the mouse. And I'm sure he's going to have the cookie with him too. Now, at this time, we have some other giveaways. We are going to do some drawings off camera for classes. We are going to give away, someone is going to get, I love this set. It's Dragon Loves Tacos, and it comes with its own dragon. So some lucky winners will get a copy of that. I think, I'm not certain, but I think we need to do another bonus question. Another bonus question. All right. Now remember, teachers, be ready on the typing button. Here we go. Finish the title, The Very Hungry blank. Oh, that was so quick. Miss Allen, Miss Ashley Allen, you came in very quickly with that, and that was correct. The whole title was The Very Hungry Caterpillar. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. All right. I think we've got time for a couple of more. Let's see. Another bonus will be, now this one, it's almost too easy, but we're going to do it anyway. It's almost too easy, but we'll do it. We will, let me take off this gown. We will do, what color is Pete the cat? What color is Pete the cat? And the first answer was from Miss Booth's class. Miss Booth's class. The correct answer was blue, Miss Booth's class, and I've got you right there. Okay, Miss Booth's class, I think that you need to win. How about an extra book for everyone in the class? Everyone gets an extra book. Okay, I think that one's a good one. Let's take that down. Now, I have got another wonderful, wonderful story to tell you. And it's going to run almost to the end, but it's a wonderful story.
I'm Michelle, and my grandkids call me Mimi, so you should call me Mimi. And I'm going to read you one of my grandson's favorite books. It's called 3 Cheers for Kid McGear, and all the characters in it are construction equipment. So they're all going to talk to each other and work on a big job together. 3 Cheers for Kid McGear. It is written by Sherry Dusky Rinker and Ag Ford. Okay. One day at the construction yard, 5 friends are building, working hard. Flatbed drives into the site. Vroom, vroom, her secret load is strapped down tight. Let's see, I don't know what all the trucks are, but my grandson can, oh, there comes flatbed. I think that's flatbed coming into the site. The tarp comes off, and there, surprise, the crew cannot believe their eyes. 5 trucks stop and turn and stare at the tiny truck that's sitting there. Clean and shiny and all brand new with lots of cool attachments too. Whoa, what kind of truck are you? With a scoop on her front end, she gives a turn, a twist, a bend, and vaults off flatbed in one swoop. Beep, beep, hello, she says, and greets the group. Wow. Now, who do we have here? I'm a skid steer, Kid McGear. I'm here to pitch in any way to help you guys get done today. I'm here to work, to have a turn. I want to join the team and learn. I'm the new kid on your crew, so is there something I can do? See, all the trucks are looking at her and wondering if she can really be useful. Kid, we have a huge job here. We have a ton of ground to clear. I think, Kid, you're just too small to be much help around here at all. We have to move out yards of dirt. I'm worried that you might get hurt. I saw your trick. That's fancy stuff, but you don't look quite strong enough to jump in here and do your share. Maybe just wait over there? I bet she doesn't feel very good if she's not able to help. The trucks drive off to clear the land. No problem, guys, I understand. I'll help out some other day, Kid says as she turns away. The big trucks go back to working hard clearing the construction yard. And then suddenly, Kid hears a yelp. Emergency! Come quick, come help. Honk, it says. Screech. Kid stops and spins around, revs, and heads right toward the sound. All the trucks start rolling fast, speeding toward the cliff, full blast. But Kid McGear goes turbo burst, and so she gets there fast and first. Working on a steep hillside, the trucks began to slip and slide, and now trapped in trees with mud and rubble, excavators in big trouble. And bulldozers in trouble too. See him down there in the mud? Uh-oh. Let's see. Well, but Kid McGear knows what to do. First, so that she doesn't slip, she puts on tracks so she can grip. She stops a moment, takes a look, and quickly grabs her grapple hook. In one smooth and steady swipe, she grabs a load of steel pipe. Support is needed to begin, and Kid's power driver slams them in. With pipes all lined up in a row, Kid grabs a chain and gives a throw. Let's see. I'm having so much trouble with these pages. All right, there. Kid rolls downhill and brave and sure and wraps each truck so they're secure. Kid's giant scissors, her power shears, can cut the tangled limbs, and then her blade clears. Now we need something, says the kid, to make sure that they don't skid. Kid rolls into each small space and pushes sand into place. Here, I'll dump this load of sand for traction on the slippery land. Then Kid sees a giant rock. It has bulldozer trapped and blocked. I can jackhammer this to bits, and with a roar the boulder splits. Crane truck clears away the rubble, lifting each piece without trouble. Kid, then excavator coughs, I think my track is falling off. Excavator ships onto his scoop to pull his track out from the goop. Forklift on, lickety-split, Kid rolls down and fixes it. Working at full speed nonstop, the chains tied to the pipes up top. Cement mixer, we need your weight. Hit low gear, stay strong and straight. Now everybody pull, Kid shouts. The others rev hard, helping out. Down there, you guys, start up and roll. We'll pull and tie to keep control. See, there they go. They're pulling them up the hill. Soon everyone's back on level land, and we can all get back to work as planned. I'm so glad you're all okay. And then Kid turns to roll away. But the big trucks start to cheer to show their thanks for Kid McGear. They shout 3 times, hip hip hooray, Kid McGear just saved the day. Please don't go, Kid, we hope you'll stay. Oh, she looks pretty happy there. Now Kid McGear has joined the crew, 5 old friends and someone new. 6 friends in the construction yard, both big and small and working hard, and each one greater than they seem because they're working as a team.
Thank you very much to Michelle Blake for reading 3 Cheers for Kid McGear. I hate to say it, but we are almost at an end. But before we do, I have one more shout out. Miss Dorothy Smith's class from Robbins. They tried so hard to get into the broadcast, to be on the broadcast with us, with Fondy and Honder's Island and the others. But their device just wouldn't let them in. So Miss Smith's class, I will be doing something nice for your class too, in addition to Fondy's class, because they had a problem also. Now, don't lose hope, because we didn't want to use up time on the broadcast pulling all the names. So we are going to sit here after we leave the broadcast and just keep picking names and keep picking names for individual students to win books and teachers to win books and teachers to win t-shirts. And we just have lots of things. I also wanted to announce Miss Tiffany Jackson from Collins Roads and Miss Samaria Moore from Spencer Westlawn. You each won a $50 gift certificate because you were the first 2 classes to complete the entire scavenger hunt. So your two groups will get $50 gift certificates to Scholastic also. Well, kids, it's that time. We are finished. I have had such a good time. The hour has gone so quickly. Thank you so much for joining us. We want you to come see us next year, because we are going to be at the fairgrounds next year. We are not going to do it online. We're going to be at the fairgrounds. So we hope that you can come see us next year. And until then, read, read, read. Thank you so much.